Verse 4. And when the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, I am about to die. In my tomb that I hewed out for myself in the land of Canaan, there shall you bury me. Now therefore, let me please go up and bury my father, then I will return. Okay, so here it's interesting. He spoke to the household of Pharaoh and trying to, so not directly to Pharaoh, the household of Pharaoh. Now, this does not imply he's not on the same level as Pharaoh, it's not on speaking terms with Pharaoh kind of idea, right? Because now there's lots of decisions. There's a way and there's a wrong way and there's a right way of doing things. Okay, etiquette, there's a right etiquette, it's the right culture. We've seen how they, by this embalming, how Pharaoh put them up in the same pedestal as the Egyptians, or not just normal Egyptians, but Egyptian leadership class up there, right? How they treated him. So it's not that they were not on, otherwise Pharaoh would not have done all of this. So this is just a difference. So instead of saying directly because of what is happening now, and there's as well maybe this whole point involved of he's in mourning. So while in mourning, he's not allowed to go directly, and everybody stands. So he's speaking with the household, and he's asking the household and other members of the house basically to go up to speak with Pharaoh and to explain the situation that actually they want to go back to bury him, because that is his father's wish. And so if they're treating him in such a way, they ought to respect that wish as well and allow for them to do that. Okay, and it's this viewing out of this the tomb. Now it's a kind of an interesting thing. It's like not as if they really hewed out this. I mean, this is a cave, so yes, maybe some preparation work inside the cave for the burial site. Okay, I mean there might be some things done inside to prepare for the burial itself, but it has more to do again to compare Israel now and the way he wants to be buried to the way the Egyptians were buried in either in their pyramids and caves and whatever they were burying. They were making a big thing of this. It's like a preparation for afterlife. And in this sense as well, this is where the pharaohs would do it over there, and Jacob is going to, Jacob did for himself over there, his preparation, like the Pharaoh would prepare for his burial site over there, and in the same way that Jacob prepared for his burial site over there. So it's like the Pharaoh want to be buried. What happened if he dies? And he prepared this burial site for himself, and now his descendants not going to bury him. I mean, wow, that's going to be very, very disrespectful and bad. Okay, so this is understandable what Joseph is trying to get at here. He's like, this is not, we need to therefore, so if you were in his position, you would have wanted this, right? You would not imagine your descendants not burying you where you ought to be buried. Okay, and yes, so therefore it's like, please let us go up and then we will return. Right, years later on, let me just finish this again. Okay, so we will return. So this is not a question of, we grew as a people now, we have more things, our families are bigger 17 years later. And so we want to actually kind of slip out of the back door and try to get out. No, they could not, even if they wanted to, because that part of the world was as well politically under supervision of the superpower of the day, which would be Egypt himself. So go there and Egyptians would just get him back. So that's not, I don't think Joseph as the second in command, he understood that. Okay, so there's anyhow not really a getting away from them. The fleeing would be to Tarsus. Now they're not Jonah, okay? So this is we're not. This is just the reason why we will go there, we will bury him, and we will come back, and that's that. This is so. It's not the same as when Moses was speaking to. We will just go and worship God there in the desert and come back. 4 days travel and then come back. This is not. I mean, we know that they never had the intention of coming back. Or like Jacob himself waiting for Laban to be off at sheep shearers before he fled. Okay, so this is not the same analogal examples here. In this case, It's not a deceiving of. This is just that they want to go and bury, and they'll come back. They're not. They have no intention of staying there. Now, Pharaoh might not have wanted to let Joseph go at that moment for everything that Joseph still had to do for him and ruling in the country. Okay, but at the same time understanding. So yes, do the right thing. This is what you would have wanted, and don't worry, we're not staying, we're not leaving. We will be back here. It's a bit like the Europeans. When you apply for a Schengen visa, then they're always afraid if you have lots of stuff back home, family and all of that, then they will kind of give you the visa, and otherwise they might not. They want to be sure that you'll come back or go back to your land before they give you a visa. Kind of here, I think it was an important point to Pharaoh, but more important for Pharaoh is actually the fact that this is just the right way. So Joseph was playing that; he was doing it culturally correct in stating on what their intentions were and what they were going to do. So verse 6, and Pharaoh answered, go up and bury your father as he made you swear. So Pharaoh's answer to that is, go up, do it as you swear to him, because you gave your word, so you need to do it. Okay, and I'm not going to stand in the way, the same way I would not want my son, for example, to stand in the way when I tell him to bury me there, and they're not going to do it, right? That same, okay, so it's playing on that same concept is at work here.